这位是 TikTok 上的短视频博主，他在中国生活了3年之后，发表了他对中国的真实看法，引起了很大的反响，光评论就有2000多条。我们先来看视频。
Most Americans' opinion on China. I lived in China for 3.5 years, and I can tell you the news does not paint the full picture of China. It shocked me how advanced China really is. They use mobile payments for everything. WeChat Pay, Alipay. People don't pull out credit cards any longer over there. They have high-speed rails that go just about everywhere. In Shanghai, over the past 30 years, has developed from being a countryside to being a full, blown-out city. We don't talk about this. Also, Americans don't understand how complex China's history is. There are 1.5 billion people in China, and they have a history that spans thousands of years. You can imagine having that level of history. Why they operate the way they do and react to things now is probably due to what happened in the past. For example, so many Americans ask me, why is China so strict on drugs? We're not like that in the US. Well, China had the first and second opium wars where Westerners brought opium and it completely trashed their economy. So looking at this history, we can see why China has such a strong stance on having drugs in the country. They don't want an inefficient population. And the way I think is we oftentimes ask, why is technology, why are our products not allowed to go into China? If I'm looking at history and I'm seeing all the different ways that Westerners have come over and completely China's economy, I'm like, if I'm trying to build up a city of a country of 1.5 billion people, most of which are in rural populations, how are you going to have American technology come over and completely overtake their country? My whole thing is when we look at China, we have to understand the full picture. It can't be a comparative game with what does the US do and oh, China should do the same thing. We are very different countries. We have very different histories, and we have to understand that when we go to make a perspective, which is why
我们来看一下视频下面美国网友的评论。8年前我在上海工作，我非常喜欢那里。我一直告诉丈夫这些，我在上海住了几年，希望有一天能搬回上海。目前正在教我的儿子普通话。我100%的同意。我在中国待了1个月，我对他们的技术感到惊讶。美国现在经济萧条，年轻人抱怨找不到工作，而且生活成本还在不断的提高。一位女士去医院做急诊3个小时。竟然花费了1.4万美元。我们来看视频。
Got a $14,000 ER bill for just being there for 3 hours. $14,000. Living in the USA without health insurance is wild, wild. And I grew up without health insurance and have so many stories about this. But this right here, this particular instance, I had extreme stomach pain. So let's check out these numbers, okay? What costs $14,000? Radiology, $600. Laboratory, $400. Urology, just for them to check your pee, it costs $300. CT body scan, $5,800. Did I ask for a CT scan? No, but my stomach hurts, so they said I had to have one. Ultrasound, $2,000. Emergency room general. So just to visit the emergency room, to just be there, $3,500. What is in that $3,500? What is included in that? Because everything else I did, like lab work, everything, it's additional on here. Diagnostics lab. So just them doing my lab work, like taking my blood, $1,100. $14,000. Now, lucky for me, I have insurance. So this, for me, went down to $115. I did, however, grow up without insurance, and my parents, they still don't have insurance. So when they're in extreme pain like that, they will literally sit there and suffer until it eventually goes away because they cannot afford to go to the ER and get help, which is so sad. Now, as a mom, this makes me think of what my mom went through. Nowadays, when my kids are sick and they're feeling really, really bad, I am privileged to have insurance and be able to take them to the hospital. But when we were little in the United States, my mother could not afford to take us to the ER when something was really, really scary or bad, you know? She would just have to wait it out because we couldn't afford it. So sad, so many people still live this way, including my own parents. So healthcare really needs to be more affordable. Our taxpayer money is used for awful things in the world, but it cannot be used to get us health insurance so that we don't have to live this way. It's sad.
现在很多的美国年轻人改变了对中国的看法，主要的原因还是因为互联网的发达。 获取信息的渠道变多了。比如最近很多外国人来中国旅行，他们拍摄中国的视频，并且发布到 YouTube 上，让全世界各国人民看到了一个真实的中国，与西方媒体所描绘的截然不同的中国。在视频的结尾我截取了美国网友对美国现状的评价，我们一起来听一下。
我们现在只是为了生存而努力工作，没有奢侈品，没有自己的东西，没有安宁。我想我们都有这种感觉，但没有人知道该怎么办。而每个比我们年长的人都告诉我们，我们需要更加努力。老实说，我们这一代人都在挣扎。我们在经济上负担不起在这个国家生活的费用，必须看看我们投票给谁，他们把钱送到哪里。利率如此之高，因为我们的国家债务太疯狂了，必须以某种方式偿还。在纽约，一间一室公寓要$3800，甚至更贵，税收更高，而且工作收入不足以支付所有费用。每个人都有这种感觉，我想我们都厌倦了，我们已经精疲力尽了，但还是很穷。